Hello, this is Victor. I'm here with a new episode of Warhammer. This time we are going to talk about the plasma gun and the Melta gun. We are going to see what weapon is more efficient in different situations and what are the strong points of each of these weapons. And let's look how these weapons perform against infantry. So if we look a standard infantry that is toughness 3 and 4, we'll see that plasma gun is much more efficient. They will cause wounds much easily than the Melta gun. If we go then to monstrous creatures of toughness 6 and 7 that are the most common, also plasma gun have more probability of causing a wound for any ballistic skill. The only moment that plasma gun and Melta gun have more or less the same probabilities are toughness 9s, but these creatures are very strange. At toughness 10, again, plasma gun is better than Melta gun. But plasma gun have a big drawback and a big advantage against Melta gun. This table is only from 12 to 0 inches. We have to take into account that plasma can also hit from 12 to 24, where Melta gun cannot shoot. But the drawback is that you have 16% of probabilities of receiving a wound each time that you shot a plasma gun. So against infantry, no doubt, plasma gun is better and have more probabilities of wounding than the Melta gun. Now let's make a look what happened when we shoot the vehicles. And here I did a different way to calculate that. What I did is I estimate how many shots I need to kill a vehicle of armor 10, 11, 12, 13 or 14 with 3 hull points. So this is based how many shots I need to kill a vehicle with 3 hull points with the different armor level. And then again, we have to take into account that each plasma gun can do 2 shots at the range of the Melta, but Melta have 2d6 penetrating the armor when it's between 6 to 0 inches. So this is why we have 2 tables for Melta. If you can see, there is the short range for Melta and the long range for Melta, and the big difference between the 2 ranges is mainly when we arrive to armor 12, 13 or 14. For armor 10 and 11, doesn't matter if you shoot at short range or long range, almost is almost the same. And for light vehicles that I will consider 11 armor 10 or 11, maybe 12, plasma gun is still better than the Melta. Where Melta excels is when we go to armor 13, 14, especially when we are at short range. If you see armor 13 long range for Melta is not much better than plasma in terms of how many shots you need to kill a vehicle. The big drawback of the plasma gun is that if you need to do 29 shots or 13 shots, most likely you will receive a wound because you are going to get hot, or you will receive more than 1 wound. Especially, you have to take into consideration that as average, you will receive a wound every 6 shots. So if you need about 30 shots to kill a vehicle with a plasma gun, you have to consider that you will have as a drawback 5 wounds on your infantry. So this is a table for light. This is a table for shooting vehicles. So the conclusion is that against the light vehicles, plasma gun is slightly better than Melta gun, but when we go to heavy vehicles, Melta gun is much better. There are 2 reasons that make it much better. When we do a pen hit, we have more probabilities of killing the vehicle, and at short range, the 2d6 is driving a big difference when we talk about armor 13 or 14. And now, focusing a little bit more on the Melta gun, I wanted to make a table to calculate the probability of killing a vehicle with only 1 shot. That is what sometimes we look for with Melta. And I wanted to do that especially because the damage table has changed in 7th edition. As you can see, a very skilled shooter with ballistic skill 5 and against a vehicle with armor 10, there is a 27%. But when we go to vehicles of armor 14, we go from 6.5 to 16% depending on the ballistic skill. Ballistic skill is making more differences than armor, and the main reason is because we throw 2d6, so the armor is not making a big difference in terms of percentages. If you see, for ballistic 10, for ballistic skill 2, between armor 10 and armor 14, there is only 4% probabilities of killing the vehicle. While for ballistic skill 5, the difference goes from 27 to 16%. So Melta can still kill a vehicle in one shot, but a standard marine that is ballistic skill 4 will go between 21% for light vehicle to 13% if you try to kill a land rider, for example, in one shot. What does mean? That if you want to kill a land rider by a pen hit, if you have 13% of so this means that 1 of every 7 hits will cause an explosion. And then what I did is I calculate how many shots I need to kill a land rider with ballistic skill 4. So, and I arrived that I will need an average of 8.8 shots to kill a land rider with ballistic skill 4. And this also again simulating, so this can change a little bit up and down depending how the simulation is repeated, because remember that I only do 25 repetitions, but it's not a big number when you try to simulate. So land rider is quite resistant now, even when it's shot by a Melta gun, that is the weapon considered to kill vehicles. So summarizing all these statistics, plasma gun is much better against infantry and is better against light vehicles, where Melta gun is excelling on heavy vehicles. And plasma gun have a big drawback, that is that it gets shot. So if you need a lot of shots, more likely you will also receive wounds on your units. But on the other side, plasma gun have longer range than Melta, from 12 to 24. The Melta gun cannot do any wound, while plasma guns have chances to cause wounds on or cause damage on the enemy. So that's all for this video. Please comment. Tell me what will you like to analyze from Warhammer 40k or Warhammer Fantasy. Thanks a lot for watching and see you again later. Bye!